This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, today we're going to see about the super function. This super function is going to use in inheritance. Okay, everyone knows Python is a object-oriented programming language, as well as under the object-oriented programming language, Python is inheritance is one of the concept. Everyone knows inheritance. Inheritance nothing but is to the child class is going to inherit the properties from the parent class. That is called inheritance. As well as yesterday we have seen various types of inheritance, single inheritance and multi inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. Now, with the help of super function, I can able to reuse the constructor in the parent class. As of now, take one example. I'm going to have one single inheritance. In single inheritance, you already know there will be one parent and one child. In parent class, if you have any constructor, that constructor, if you want to reuse in child class, then you can able to use the super function. From child class, you can able to call the parent class constructor. From child class, you can able to call the parent class constructor. That's the use of super function. Not only for calling the constructors, you can call the parent class method in the child class with the help of super function. Today, we're going to see. I'm going to show one single inheritance. In the single inheritance, how to use the super function for constructor as well as for methods. Now, before going to the implementation, I'm going to say a few points. What is super function? I already said to you, super function is nothing but if you want to call the parent constructor in the child class, then you can use the super function. As well as if you want to call the parent class function in the child class function, you can use the super function. If you want to use a parent class function in the child class function, then you can use a super function. The help of super function can able to achieve. The super function is used to no need to write the same code again and again in the child class. You can reuse the code in the from the parent function. What are the parent function have, right? You can use the same function in the child class as well. And then the benefits of super function is no need to specify the parent class name. No need to specify the parent class name. Just what you can do, super dot init if you call means it will think like, yeah, they are trying to use the parent class constructor. Okay, like this you have to reuse the parent class constructor and the child class constructor. And then second one is the super function used in single inheritance. You can use the super function in single inheritance as well as multiple inheritance. This is one of the benefits. You can use super function in single inheritance as well as multiple inheritance. And third one is super function. It's going to implement the code reusability. What are the code available in the parent class? You can reuse the code as well as you can that will be modularity. Modularity means you can change the parent class code as well. No need to write the whole function again and again in the parent class. And then the last one is super function is nothing but a dynamical function. As everyone knows, Python is a dynamic language. Dynamic means for any variable, no need to specify the type. In Java, what you will do for declaring the number 2, you will declare int as a type, right? In Python, no need to declare a type. That's what is Python is called dynamic type programming language. They're saying super function is a Python. It's nothing but dynamic function. No need to specify any other types in the functions. And then yeah, we'll discuss the constraints later. Now I'm going to show the implementation part with the help of single inheritance. Now see here whether we have any inheritance directory. Inheritance dictionary is there, functions is there, and the oops concept is there. Under oops we have the Yeah, under oops, yeah, oops is there, oops concepts is there. Yeah, we have the inheritance. Now I'm going to create one more directory that is called super. In that I'm going to have a pile file. I'm going to keep the py file name as parent. You already know single inheritance is having only one parent and one child class. Parent, and then I'm going to use classes or the parent class, right? Classes car, and then I'm going to have one constructor. I'm going to initialize my constructor. Initialize nothing but initialization. In that I'm going to pass two more arguments. Fuel type, it's a diesel or petrol. Fuel type, sorry, self comma fuel type, self comma fuel type, and then uh, yeah, and then mileage. Okay, now I'm going to assign a variable self dot same variable. I'm going to assign what are the pass the argument, right? I'm going to assign that's a variable equal to fuel type, and then self dot mileage equal to mileage. Okay, now what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to write one more function in the parent class. Okay, now if the fuel type is petrol, any car, it will approximately it's going to give 25 kilometers. It's a mileage, 25 kilometers. Okay, per liter it's going to give 25 kilometer mileage. Now I'm going to calculate the mileage, and then yeah, self as the first argument, and then I'm going to write an if condition. In the if condition I'm going to mention if fuel type the fuel type is petrol, any car. Okay, the mileage is going to return, the mileage is going to return what I can mention, like okay, I'm going to return 25 kilometer per hour, and then else block. Okay, make it elif, and then fuel type is diesel. It's going to give it's going to give some 28 kilometer per hour, and then if it is a gas, you can make it elif. If it is a gas, fuel type is going to be a gas. It's going to return 30 kilometer per hour. Okay, this is a method I kept in the parent class. Now you have one constructor, and then we have your calculate the mileage. Okay, now I'm going to create one more class called, sorry, I'm going to create one more py file called child dot py. Now split the window. The class name I'm going to keep, the car name is Honda, Honda City. Car name is Honda City. Okay, now Honda City is having you want to choose a constructor in it self. I want to pass what are the arguments, fuel type, and then mileage, fuel type and mileage. Okay, in the class I have Honda City. In that I am introducing one constructor. In the constructor I have fuel type and mileage, and then speed of my car. If I going very fast, like 80 km per hour, my mileage will be reduced because I'm traveling in the 80 km per hour. what happens? Your diesel pump will boost it, and then more number of fuel will take place, and then your mileage will automatically be reduced. Okay, I want to add one more argument called speed. Argument called speed. Now what I'm going to do? I want to reuse my parent class constructor. How to use a parent class constructor? Can you say how to use a parent class constructor? What function I have to use? If you know the name of your parent class, what you can do? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you know the parent class name, you can use parent class name, and then you can call init. Now, what you're trying to do, you are calling your parent class constructor. If you don't know your parent class name, what will you do? Like this, you can call car dot init. Now, what you're trying to do, you are calling your parent class constructor in your child class. You are calling your parent class constructor in your child class. That's what I'm saying. We are reusing the constructor from the parent class in your child class. And then you want to pass, sorry, you want to import the package, right? You want to import the package. The package comes under oops dot super dot parent dot. In that parent only we have car, right? You want to import the package. Import this package. Now you want to pass arguments. Parent class, what are arguments you're passing? Fuel type and mileage, right? You want to pass the arguments to your parent class constructor. Okay. Previously they did like this only. If you don't know the class name, what you can do? I don't know my class name. What's my parent class? For this Honda City, I don't know who is the parent class. For car, I know the parent will be object. For Honda City, till now I didn't inherit C. Till now I'll remove this part. Okay, because I didn't apply the inheritance. I'll remove this part as of now. How to apply the inheritance? The bracket, this pass R, and then you have to import the package now. Okay, now if you know the class, if you know the your parent class name, what you can do? You can use car init, and then you can pass fuel type and mileage. This is how you can do. But I am asking you, if you don't know who is a parent for water city, at that time, what I can do? I can use the super function. The super function, what it will do, it's going to call your parent class constructor in your child class. That's the beauty in the super function. Okay, now what happens for this both two classes, water city and car classes, it's getting a single object. For both classes, getting a single object, memory will be assigned only once for these two classes. Now the both classes are on the single object. For single object, assigning a memory. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm going to have one function def. Already said to you, though you have speed, right? Though it's your this is a child class constructor, you want to specify it, right? Now what you can do, self dot speed equal to speed. Indentation pro issue. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, it's happening here. Yeah, I think we have it. Yeah, we have some indentation issue. Now it's everything is fine now. Yeah, now I want to write a method. Okay, if the speed is greater than 70, my mileage should be reduced. For example, if I am traveling at 80 kilometer per hour, my speed is 80 kilometer per hour, my mileage should be 15 kilometer per hour. If my speed is less than 60, it has to give mileage 20 kilometer per hour. Okay, like this I would write a method. calculate mileage based on speed. Based on speed. Calculate mileage based on speed. Now you have to write the if condition. What we can do? If speed is greater than 70, should not directly call the speed, should call instance dot speed. Okay, should call instance dot speed. If speed is greater than 70, yeah, okay, greater than 70, and self dot speed less than 80, it has to give the mileage actual mileage what it's giving. Yeah, you can call like self dot mileage minus 10. I hope you got it. If traveling at 70 km per hour or greater than 70 less than 80, mileage is reduced, because if you drive very fast, what will happen to your diesel pump or petrol pump? What will happen? It will be boosted, right? Automatically your mileage will be tends to reduce. If you go in the normal speed, you can get more mileage. That's what I'm trying to do here is, I think you can remove the unwanted brackets, remove format the file. Okay, let it be. And then you can write so much elif conditions. And then same thing you got to try. Self dot speed greater than 60, greater than 60, and self dot speed less than 70. Okay, and then I'm going to give the mileage self dot mileage, sorry, self dot mileage it's going to give -5. If I manage some constant speed, mileage will be more. Okay, okay, now that's it. And then you see like this, you can write so many conditions. Okay, as per your requirement, you can write so much conditions. As of now, I'm stopping up to the two conditions. I hope no need of brackets, I guess. 1 minute. Okay, so it's chained expression, right? Use some as per the PEMDAS rule. You can use the brackets. Okay, let it be. Fine. Now I want to use this method in my parent class with the help of super function. With the help of super function. Now let's see how I'm using. I'm going to write one more function. Um, okay. Now, what function name I can give? Def for define, and then I can give like uh, okay, calculate mileage for Honda City, right? Honda. Now, if I want to reuse the method of a parent class to child class, what keyword I can use? If I want to reuse this parent function to my child class, see the child class I want to call this function. Okay, how to call this function? Super dot 1 minute, super dot or 1 minute, super dot calculate mileage. Supra function. See, if you want to call this function, you want the supra function and then calculate mileage. Okay, this is how you can use a super function. You can reuse the constructor of a parent class, as well as you can reuse your parent class function in your child class function. Now I'm going to create one more main method. The Py file name I'm going to create like main_1. Okay. Now I'm going to split the window. Now I'm going to split the window. In the window, I'm going to have one class test inheritance. Now I'm not going to mention any methods. Just give pass. Now you have to say for which class I want to create an object. for which class. I want to create a object for car class or Honda City. You have to say, though it comes under inheritance. Now you have to decide. Honda City, you have to create your object. Okay, you have to create an instance. You can give any name for this. I'm giving object underscore one instance name is, and then I'm going to create the Honda City. Okay, just you have to try to import the package, and then click on here. Is want to import the package. After importing the package, reformat the file, and then you can use the instance. First, what I'm going to do? I want to first I want to call this method. Okay, object underscore one dot calculate mileage speed, right? Though see here, though I am creating an object for Honda City, this bracket is there, right? This bracket, it's going to call a constructor. Now Honda City, you already initialized one explicit constructor. In that, how many arguments you have to pass? You have to pass 3 arguments. If you pass 3 arguments, what will happen? This argument passed to your parent class constructor with. Parent class constructors will. That's what you are reusing the entire parent class constructor in the Honda City. If you are trying to use the parent class constructor, the meaning is you're going to access all the methods in the particular class, access methods, variables inside the class. That's what we are using the constructor. If you're using the constructor, what will happen? We're going to create a single object. In the single object, you're going to access this method as well as this method, as well as if you're having any variables, you can access the variables as well. Now, though I have not passed any values from a constructor, Honda City I have not passed any values. I'm going to pass some value. Fuel type I'm going to pass petrol. Fuel type I'm going to pass petrol, and then I'm going to pass mileages. Mileage. What mileage I want to give? 1 minute. Mileage. I'm doing anything with mileage? No, I'm not doing anything with mileage as of now. Okay. What you can do? You can give like empty, and then speed I can give like I'm traveling like 67 kilometer per hour. 67 kilometer per hour. Now going to use the print statement, because in this method we have 110 values. It's not going to print anything in console. Just use print statement. If you run the script, it's going to give 1 minute. Okay. Descriptive unit required super object but received str but received string. Okay, what I did here? Okay, mileage I used. Okay. Mileage I want to pass, right? Mileage I want to pass for this constructor. Don't pass the empty one. Just I give I'm going to give something values like 25. Now if you run this script, uh, descriptor unit requires a super object but received str. Okay, I'm passing a string, pass a value 25. Okay, that's what is saying here is unit requires a super object but receives a string str. Okay, not pass a single quotes, just to pass in a number. Why it's coming like this? Petrol, fuel type I passed as petrol. Okay, fuel type I passed as petrol. Fuel type I passed as petrol. Okay, 1 minute.
This conference will now be recorded.
See, you got the type error. Init requires a super object but received str. Okay, already said to you, super is nothing but a function. Okay, now you can see the child class Honda City. In that, I have reused my parent class constructor in the child class. What mistake I did is I want to use super of function. Super of function. If you use only super, it will treating this super as one of the string. That's why it's getting the type error that unit requires a super object but receives a str. It's looking for a object, super object. Super object means every function is object. I already said to you, every function. See here, super is nothing but here want to receive the super object. right? In the bracket, if you give a bracket, it will going to refer your parent class object. Okay, I want to receive requires here object, but I'm using string. If you give only super, it will treat as string. Now if you pass a function in Python, any function is object. Okay, if you pass this function in the bracket, it will call your parent class object. Now if you run the script, it's going to give 20, because what is happening here is I'm passing my 25. Now what happens, my 25, now the mileage is set as 25 in the parent class constructor. Now this variable set mileage variable is 25. After that, in this method, what I'm trying to do here is my speed is 67 kilometer per hour. It falls under this LF category, and then though my mileage 25, 20 minus 5 will be 20. And then if you want to call this method calculate mileage Honda, okay, it's going to call your parent class calculate mileage method. This is how you can able to reuse the code. No need to write the code again in the child class. You can reuse the code in your child class. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one simple thing. In the print statement, I'm going to have the instance object underscore one dot calculate mileage Honda. If I call this method, what happened? It's going to call your parent class method, and then it's going to give the value. What value is going to give? Though I mentioned fuel type is petrol, right? It's going to return 25 as a value, because in the constructor I pass a value fuel type is constructor. Now it's going to call a parent class constructor, and the fuel type is going to be fuel type is going to be petrol, and then I fuel type is petrol equal petrol. It's going to give the bool value true, and then it's going to return 25. Why it's returning none? What happens? Calculate mileage Honda. Okay, what I did, right? I made a blunder mistake. This method is not returning any value. That's why it's returning none. If you are not giving a return keyword, it will give the value as none. If you run the script, it's going to give the value as 25, because the fuel type passes petrol, right? Now it's going to give 25. If I pass some other fuel type gas, it's going to give 30. This is how you can use a super function. Super function you can use for reusing the parent class constructor, as well as you can use a super constructor to reuse your parent class function in the child class. And then if you don't know about the name of your parent class, then you can use super function to reuse that function or constructor in your child class. The first thing you are achieving is code reusability. That's the main one actually. Okay. Now I'm going to sign off the session right now. This is the use of super function.